All right, new video today. Probably the most consistent I've been in a while. This is, I think, my second workout in the last 7 days. And as I'm recording this is actually the next morning after this workout. And I'm definitely feeling a little bit of tightness and stuff and stiffness. And that's exactly like what I expect. It's what I deserve, honestly, for not being consistent. But this is just where I'm concerned as far as like muscle soreness and stiffness is that if I get to the point where I'm sore and my mobility and function is inhibited, that's something I do not want to see. Um, any type of like muscular soreness that lasts longer than a day is not desirable. And I think it's not natural. It's not supposed to happen. But yet in our bodybuilding gym bro community, we like to push this idea that if you're not sore, you didn't do a good workout. I don't like that mentality. I only work out to make myself stronger. I feel like my body can become strong and it can adapt without having to become so weak. Because if you're simply just trying to make yourself sore, that means you're only living for the gym. My gym work is done so that my life outside the gym can also be made, can be enhanced. Anyways, I wanted to share something about the real reason why I haven't been so consistent and why it's been so hard for me to get things going, especially this new year. So I had a full head of steam going into Christmas break, and then as soon as Christmas break hit, I came back to real life. All of a sudden, it was like I couldn't put together 2 consecutive gym sessions to save my life 2 days in a row. What happens is that if you've watched any of my content for a long time, or if you have seen my Instagram or TikTok, you know that my main focus in life, my journey at this point, is to become a spokesperson for Jesus Christ, to become a representative of Him, to be able to share my testimony and help other people develop a relationship with God. I really want to help people who may not know or understand God to make God to seem like a very knowable person and someone who can be understood by anybody. That's my goal and my pursuit in life. And so one thing that I've been doing that God has been putting me up to is as a practice of mine is, so I'm here on BYU campus and working out. When I was working here last semester and going to school, and then this semester I'm only working, but I would take time and spend every day looking for people to talk to, random people that the Spirit of God would indicate to me in my heart that I needed to talk to. And the best time and place to do this, I'm not going to say unfortunately, just coincidentally, just happened to be at the dining hall. So my plan was moving here and going to school was that if I got a job on campus, I knew that it gave a benefit where they paid you like fake money. Basically, it's called Cougar Cash for BYU Cougars. But anyways, the university cash or point system where you can use money and put it onto your ID card and use that to buy food and other things on campus. And so my plan was that I was just going to be eating free simultaneously while like taking advantage of this gym membership, and that was going to help me with my goals, and it was going great. And then all of a sudden I felt the need to begin starting to talk to people, having conversations about God with people and helping people, even though on BYU campus we're all supposed to be, or I guess supposedly we all have testimonies of God and we're all like spiritually nourished. You would be surprised, and I was surprised to find how many people needed to have these conversations. And so anyways, what would happen is that I'd be in the dining hall, and this is just this last couple months. I would see people sitting by themselves or whatever off to the around the dining hall, and I would get an impression or like an instinctual spiritual feeling that I needed to talk to them. I would go up to them and talk to them, have a whole conversation, and in so doing, I would waste the time I had to eat. I'm not going to say, actually, I shouldn't say waste. I should say I'd spend the time I was going to use to eat. I would spend that time talking to those people. And I had so many uplifting and positive conversations, but at the same time, I wasn't able to get in the calories that I needed to in order to sustain my gym efforts. What happened is that over time, I noticed I was becoming weaker, that the gym wasn't helping my body anymore. It was actually making it worse. And so I just knew, and I know this from experience, is that when you don't eat well and you're not consistent with your diet, your gym efforts are not going to result in anything really productive or positive. It's just going to be damaging. And so, especially when you're doing like just the compound lifts that I'm doing. So what had to happen is that something had to give. Either I had to go and ignore the promptings and the spiritual impressions God was giving me, or I could choose to be faithful to God. And remember, there's a scripture in Timothy where it says that bodily exercise profiteth little. Not to say exercise literally. I think he means more like the things you do with your body ultimately matter very little if it's not like for God's purposes, because after this life we have a whole other life, we have eternity. And so if I spend my whole life focused on things that are personally driven, that are only motivated for my self gain and benefit, then I'm going to miss out on eternal blessings. And also other people could have been helped by my example and my testimony, but I chose not to let that light shine. That's something I don't want to ever have happen. And so I even got to a point where I began to question God. I was like, hey, God, I know this is very important because this is my goal in life, of becoming, a representative and being able to represent you, God, to other people. But I said, I also have this other goal, which is physical, which is fitness. And I want to know at what point, what will I be able to do in order to have a balance? And then the answer that came to me was, don't undervalue or don't underappreciate the potential positive impact of a simple conversation. Meaning that God was telling me that my talking to people, because the dining hall is where everyone's at when they're not in class and not doing homework, right? They're eating. So that's the perfect time to approach people and talk to them. Otherwise, I would be stopping people while they're walking or late to class or whatever. And the best time to do it simply just has to be when they're not busy. So God told me that he made it clear to me that the most important thing for me right now, at least at that point, was to be having those conversations, because not only did it help people out, but it also built me up as a person, being able to have those conversational skills and also learn how to incorporate God in my thoughts and my daily conversations. So anyways, that's the whole story about why I've been inconsistent. It started off as just being like, I had a few off weeks in the beginning, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, I haven't been to the gym really in a 2 weeks, and then it turned into I haven't been in almost a month. Then I was like, I want to get back into the gym. Now I'm going to explain in the next video about how my situation has changed and how more opportunities have presented themselves and how I'm being able to be more consistent in the gym. But that's the story for today. Hopefully that was inspiring to somebody who is basically, if anyone was considering or doubting or contemplating whether or not they want to do their own personal interest or whether they want to do what they know is right in their heart that God has put in there. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything, leave them in the comment section. I want to shout out Leonidas, who I don't know personally, but he's someone that commented on my last video and told me to keep going because he's rooting for me. It means a lot. I know not everyone, in fact, most people don't watch these videos until the end, but I'm leaving this as a record, basically, to my own progress. And this has been something that has helped me develop myself personally as far as like speaking skills, linguistics, and whatnot. And so this YouTube channel, it serves two purposes. For my own edification, it also serves a purpose for anyone else to find motivation or inspiration or wisdom or insights or anything. I want this just to be a resource for anyone who wants to build their life better. And if it so happens that they find comfort or anything in my message, then that's a plus, that's a positive. And so anyways, thanks to Leonidas, and thank you to anyone else who supports by watching, by commenting, by doing anything. I really appreciate you guys, and we're going to make it. We're going to have big success, not just on this channel, but with everything. Instagram and all the social media platforms. And soon I'll be able to bring this message I have to the forefront of, American politics, American society, whatever. I have plans to make this big. But thank you guys for everything, honestly. Praise be to God. Have a great day.